Who is the question for? Who is the question for me, or for Keith, or for both?
Well, both of you guys, and you're on my show right now. It's called Cock Talk, and it's just a show where guys talk about their penises. So go ahead. Why don't you tell me about your cock, sir?
Well, I'm afraid you haven't sold it, you see. The whole show's about sales. You've come straight in with your price, but you haven't sold us. You haven't got us emotionally invested, which means, unfortunately, this time round, I'm afraid your sales fallen through. Better luck next time, though. Some people go straight to the end shot without going through the preamble and the warm up. That's sometimes why sales fail.
That was
sometimes why they
fail. Call I've ever heard from an interview.
Yeah, wow. Well, there we go. That's another first for the Confidence Alchemist radio show. And
that's the tip of the iceberg. Literally, the tip.
Yeah.
Right, moving on.
So getting back to your to the incredible offer. So you've given them so much value that they'd be foolish to say no. And we're coming toward the end here. We've got about seven or 8 minutes left in total. So we need to start wrapping up. But what's the rest of how you create the offer?
The rest of our creative offer is then looking at what other people are doing. Is really looking at what other people are doing and offering something that be, so it can be additional support after the seminar. If it is, for example, a one-to-one coaching, then I'm giving them an incredible deal on the one-to-one. Now, this is really important. This stuff works if you have something scalable. So, for example, I can't do that on a one-to-one coaching. In what do I mean about this? As a first sale, I don't want to spend 12 months of one-to-one for £100. No, that doesn't work. But if I have something which is scalable, like an online program, a mastermind group, a training course, at the end of the day, they are there. So I want people to experience as much stuff that I create, as many programs that I create as possible, and to be with me as long as possible, so then they will invest more money with me. Because there is this rule: the more time you invest with them, the more money they will invest with you. And in fact, I remember making like £10,000 sales, and literally the sales conversation was, "Hey, when are you going to buy? Like, when are you going to upgrade?" And there was nothing more than that. Like, I wrap my arms around their shoulder and say, "Hey, you've been working out with us for a while. When are you going to upgrade?" Because now the relationship is so strong that we can have just a conversation as friends and understand if the program is right for them and making the upsell. And that's why it's so magical. I love spending time up front with people. So you build this strong relationship. They love you. They trust you. And then the high-ticket sales becomes easy and effortless.
Got it. Yeah. So so at that point, it's almost, it's not even a sale. It's just more a sort of kind of prompting them onto the next step, which they're all fired up, ready to take anyway. It's just a question of, so hey, you ready to upgrade now? You've been with us for a while. Should we go to the next step? Yeah, sure, no problem. I like that. So you're really building that relationship there. Exactly.
That's my strategy. It's building relationship, because with relationship, I can give them the results that they want, and also they will buy more program and services from me if that's what they need.
Got it. I like that. And of course, if they don't want what you've got and their answer is no,
then it's fine.
Yeah, it's not personal, is it?
It's perfectly fine. If they don't want, so for example, I do one of my services is an intensive 5-hour session where I teach people, I create the pitch, selling from the stage, and I sit down with my clients and I create their pitch in 5 hours. Now, I was having one of these sessions this afternoon with a client, and then I wanted to upsell my £7,000 program. Immediately we started talking, and actually I realized while we were talking that program was the right thing for them. because of the situation where they were in, the work that they've done in the past before. I knew that this program actually couldn't add as much value as they would have paid for based on where they were. So I stopped the conversation and I steered the conversation somewhere different, giving something that instead of £7,000 actually was £43 a month, which was a much better offer and much better option for the person where I was in front with, and actually said, yes, I would love this. You need to understand in particular what is that this person needs in front of you. And if you really believe that they need what you're selling, then of course be persistent. Like, don't give up at the first no. But if you generally understand that actually that thing that you're offering is not the right thing for them, then let it go. There are going to be other people, focus on other people that actually really need and they will love working with you. Because if they don't really need it, they're going to ask for a refund or they're not going to be happy. And then they're going to bitch and moan to other clients and other people about the bad service that you gave them just because it wasn't the right thing for them.
Yeah. Which, of course, is the exact opposite of what you want. And yet is the thing which so many people risk when they follow this hype the crowd up and get them to run to the back of the room before it all sells out thing. Time and time again, you end up with, yes, you make a huge number of sales, and then you have a large number of refunds, and then you have a lot of people who are very dissatisfied with it because it wasn't actually what they really wanted. They'd just been sort of whipped up into a frenzy and dragged along with the crowd.
Exactly. Point and take.
Yeah, well, quite. Yeah, I like that approach that you shared with us there. And I know you say that everything that you're talking about at this point has been focused on people who are selling from stage. And I can't help but notice as you were talking about it, there were bits and pieces there. I was thinking, yeah, I can see how that could also be made to work. Turn it around, change it a bit, can also be made to work in all manner of other sales environments. So what you're sharing there, when you break down the approach behind it all, it really does apply across a wide range of sales contexts. And I appreciate that you focus on helping people who want to sell from stage. So naturally you focus around it, but it's testament to the approach you have that you really can use it in so many other areas, which is pretty cool.
You can use it in sales one-to-one, for example, which is the same approach. There is only one difference. There are different schools in terms of selling one-to-one. You can find Rich Litvin. What was his, the Bonded Coach or something like that? It was the book that he wrote. And he's talking about giving away immediately like a 2-hour, 3-hour session up front and without asking for the sales and then following up and ask for the sale. That works. I personally don't like it because I feel that if someone doesn't buy that much, spending 3 hours with a person that then doesn't want to buy one-to-one, it can be a big waste of my time. So what I'm doing, the difference that I'm using, if I'm running a seminar or a free event or a free webinar, I want to give them as much value as possible. But when I'm having them in a conversation one-to-one, the conversation goes into how can I help you? Like, what is your issue? And I'm not generally going to give help or advice during the consultation. The advice comes when they buy. This is the only difference that I found.
Got it, and I can certainly see how that makes a lot of sense there. Yeah.
And on top of that, I'm also creating. You've got to give some context because also I'm also creating a lot of content online, podcasts, interviews, blog posts, emails every day, videos. So people that want to find some content from, they don't need to get it from a consultation one-to-one. They want to come on a consultation. They got to buy. Otherwise, if they want freebies, there are hundreds of hours of content that I've created. They can go there.
Got it. And that's all down to the first part, basically delivering incredible value to people.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, we're just about to hit the clock. Time always seems to. I swear the clock that we've got on here, they must speed it up when we're on, because it always seems to go so much faster. But
you're a great host. That's why.
Oh, great. Well, you're a fantastic guest. So thank you so much for sharing this stuff with us, Simone. It's been. I've certainly got a lot out of it. I know our listeners will have got a lot out of it. How can people find out more if they want to get in touch or take it to the next step with you and with GTEx? What's the best thing for them to do? Best place to go?
Well, thank you for asking, Keith. There are two places where you can go. One is our website, which is www.gtex.org.uk, and immediately you can find a free gift that is for you, and is the selling from the stage checklist, the ultimate selling from the stage checklist. So it's a checklist on if you're having a conversation, if you're preparing a seminar or talk, how can you be prepared for it, and how can you create and arrange your talk based on what we talked about tonight in a checklist. So you see what to do first, what to do second, what to do third, and they had incredible feedback and also great results from people that went through the checklist. So it's something that you must get. And the other ways where you can get in touch, if you like listening to radio and podcasts, we have our own podcast on iTunes and Stitcher that is called the Explode Your Coaching Biz Show. So Explode Your Coaching Biz Show. And then you will find that we have hundreds of episodes on interviewing and solo episodes on how to grow a six-figure coaching and speaking business.
Fantastic. So those details again for anybody who wants to get in touch, go to the GTEx website, which is www.gtex.org.uk. And when you're there, make sure you grab the free Selling from Stage checklist. I've seen that list. Someone actually showed me a list as he showed me a briefing of it as he was developing it. There's a lot on there. It's really good.
You gave me a really valuable feedback on that.
Thank you, Mike. My pleasure. And also check out Explode Your Coaching Business Show, which is a podcast with a lot of content on there.
You've been listening to the Confidence Alchemist radio show with your host, the Confidence Alchemist himself, Keith Blakemore Noble. To find out more, visit theconfidencealchemist.com.